Okay. A very good morning to one and all present here. I hope I'm audible to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So, as a part of the industry interaction for our as a part of the industry interaction with the final year students as an initiative put forward by the management, we have been inviting different personalities who are working in the industry to mm, gain knowledge about how this industry works. And because in academics, we have a different mindset. We mainly talk, think about the publications and kind of research oriented thing. But the industry is totally a different perspective where they'll be looking to convert whatever they do into a product that could be easily commercialized. So right from the beginning, when they start a work, they'll start from this point of view, right? If I'm going to do this research and I'm going to make a product or make an improvement in a technology, how it is going to get benefit to the society, at the same time, whether how it is marketable. So probably we know that even the papers are no longer the catchword for a scientist now. It is the patents and the conversion into products, and product development is much more important. Each and every universities, even the government universities, are now asking the scientists to do that kind of research. So in that connection, we have invited Dr. Arun Duraisamy. He's a senior research executive from Laurel Limited. The Laurel, famous MNC, specializes in several products, FMCG products primarily, to give a interactive session and a talk regarding how the industry operates, particularly in the biology field. So I here welcome everyone, our HOD, all the faculties of our department, the BTech and MTech students who are attending the talk. And I'll also introduce the speaker. So Dr. Arun Duraisamy did his bachelor's in 2006 and master's in 2008 in Pongo Arts College. Then at the time he was working with me for his final project when I did my PhD in CLRI. Then he later recruited from the campus and he joined in ITC at Personal Care Division, particularly R&D department of ITC in 2008. He worked there for about 4 years. Then he moved to the Laurel Advanced Research Center, Bangalore at 2012 as a research executive, and currently is working in Laurel as a senior research executive. He also he completed a PhD from the Bharathiar University, Coimbatore. So far he has 6 Indian patents and 3 international patents in his research, and also has 9 publications. With this short introduction, I would like to welcome Dr. Arun Duraisamy for giving the talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Raja, for inviting me for this industry academia interactive session. And I'm very happy to talk to the students as well as the faculty members of the genetic engineering department. So good morning all. So I would like to discuss with you about the viewpoints of industry, and it is more of what is the mindset of an industry, and also about how we are looking the research for the future. So I'm sharing my screen. You can see the screen.
Yeah.
So today's talk is about innovation from renewable resources at L'Oreal. So L'Oreal, so I would like to give you a brief introduction about what L'Oreal is and what are we looking for, what is our commitment and ambition for the future in terms of research. And we will see some of the case studies of what are all the raw materials, how we want to modify those raw materials for our future benefits, which will help the consumers to have their satisfaction. So first is about the L'Oreal. L'Oreal is a first worldwide cosmetic group. It's a 120 years old company now. The mother country is the Paris, France, and it is located mainly in the Paris city. And as on today, we have 205 products sold every second across the globe. So we have 32 international brands and we are positioned in 140 countries. And we have totally 370 members working in the research division across the globe in various countries. Like for the first country is Paris, followed by China, India, Japan, US, and Brazil. Now we have the center in Singapore and South Africa as well. So across the global teams, we have 3,870 members working for research and development. So with that inspiration story of the importance of science being used for a cosmetic industry, I would like to explain to you what is the beauty needs. So today the global consumers, everybody wants to look beautiful to improve their self-confidence and also to present themselves in a professional way to in their normal day-to-day life. So with that, the beauty needs are very versatile and we have different interests for different consumers with a different background and different cultures. So with that, when we say it is a beauty need, we would like to segregate as a divisions for our product development. So it is mainly on the hair care category, mainly, and makeup, followed by fragrance, followed by skincare and hygiene, and hair dyes for hair colors. So with that, we have these are the different types of products what L'Oreal concentrates on for the development for the future. And also we have different product categories based on the sales and based on the selling point of view, like the consumer product division, which concentrates on the mass market. And we have luxury product division, which is targeting mainly on the premium consumers and the premium brands. And we have the professional product division where it is used only in the parlors and saloons and spa. And also we have the active cosmetic division where it is a cosmeceuticals. So these are the 4 different classes and categories what we are concentrating on with the different product types, which is the beauty needs for the consumer. So this is about the brief introduction of L'Oreal, and from now on we will see what is the commitment of L'Oreal. So with the being a beauty leader, what we wanted to do is we want to have a commitment to share the beauty with all the consumers across the globe. So what we thought is with the Mancom members, with the senior team in the France, they have decided a commitment to have the vision to have sharing the beauty with all. What is sharing beauty with all? It is not, the beauty is not only the external beauty what you look for. It is the beauty which takes care of the livelihood of all the people across the globe, and also how to link your business with the livelihood of the individuals who are working all across the globe. That is what is the concept of sharing the beauty with all. It is a sustainability commitment from L'Oreal's side. So in that we have 4 different steps. It is first is the creating an innovation sustainably, are mainly concentrating on the sustainable innovation. Second is developing sustainably, meaning the developing the products based on the innovation to have the sustainable development. And if we want to do the sustainable development, following that is producing sustainably. So once there is an innovation is there, we have to develop the products. Once the development is there, we have to produce the products for the market. Once the product is there, we are producing some products, sustainability, then it is a concept of living sustainability. So it is through the business chain, we want to share all our profits in a sustainable way. That is what the commitment of sharing the beauty with all. So it is not the only what we look for ourselves for L'Oreal. So these are the 4 key steps what we wanted to follow to have the to implement the sharing beauty with all in our day-to-day life. So with that, explaining more in detail about what is sharing beauty with all. If we say sharing beauty with all, we have the first step is innovating sustainably. So innovating sustainably, it requires the involvement of the research and development team. It requires the efforts of scientific team to innovate in such a way though, so that we can maintain the sustainable, we can sustainably rotate the nature's availability. So with that, if we say our commitment for innovating sustainably is by 2030, we will innovate in L'Oreal, we will innovate so that the 100% of our products have an environmental impact as well as social benefit. If we say social benefits, it starts from the digging the roots of the raw material where we are purchasing, what are we doing, conducting a social audit, and also conducting a fair bio trade, so that the raw material where it is cultivated, the farmer who cultivated the particular raw material required for the production of a raw material which is used for the cosmetic product development, that farmer is getting benefited. That is what the social benefit what we want to share through this sharing beauty with all. This is the global vision of L'Oreal. So it is not only in the product in the European countries. We wanted to do it in all across the world. Wherever our products are sold, we want to give the product which is environmental friendly and also which has the benefits which is shared to a farmer who's involved in the cultivation of the specific raw material. So with that as a commitment, we wanted to say how we wanted, these are the different steps, how we wanted to achieve our commitment, how we want to move towards our commitment. So whatever the new formula that we develop in our labs, that will have a reduced environmental footprint. If we say environmental footprint, it will have most of the carbons which is from the renewable source. We want to remove away. We have listed the portfolio of raw materials into a renewables and non-renewables, and we wanted to give more importance to the naturality index, which is classified as in the ISO 16001. And also we want to source our raw materials in a sustainable way through farming and agriculture in an organic way. And also we want to utilize the available sustainable bioresources, and using the green chemistry principles, we wanted to apply the green chemistry and transform the available raw materials, agricultural raw materials, into the products, which helps us in developing the cosmetic product, which will create an environmental impact, and it will have a social positive impact. So this is where, and also it is not only the product development, we also want to look into the packaging as well. We want to go more for a plastic free environment. So we wanted to commit for improving the environmental profile for the packaging as well. Whatever the packaging that we do, there are research, there are research teams who focuses on the development of the packaging material, which is having a good environmental profile as well. So if that is happening, what is our current state? Because if I say about the state, what is the steps and things like that, we wanted to say what is our case study when we decided all these things. So we wanted to have a new eco-design tool. We have deployed already. So this helps the formulation teams in improving the environmental profile of the formulas. So if we wanted to say 82% of our products launched in 2016 have an improved environmental or social benefits, because earlier it was only 74%, which is without any calculation, without any commitment, we had 74%. When we said that the commitment in 2015 is more of sharing the beauty with all, so we started improving within a year's time. We said 82% is what we can achieve in 1 year with the products launched in 2016. But our commitment in 2030 is to move all our product categories of 32 brands to reach about 100% of the usage of the renewable carbon, and also to create a social positive impact. So with that, if we say what is the improvement that we can focus on for any cosmetic company, if I develop a product, that product is, can I, if I say the carbon whatever I am getting is from a renewable source, is it sufficient enough for to create an environmental profile? No, it is not important. It is not only sufficient. So what we wanted to focus on, because we are the category or segment where we are directly involved with the environment in terms of polluting the water. If we say the domestic waste, what is being created, the soaps, shampoos, and the creams and the cleansers, what you use every day has the raw materials or chemicals that will be sent out to the planet Earth, and also which is mixed with the water. So where it is affecting a lot of aquatic organisms, and also it is polluting the Earth. So by keeping that in the mind, our main target was, one is improving the biodegradability of any raw material that we develop upon. So whatever the raw material that we use for developing a product, it should be 100% biodegradable. Even if you leave out the waste which is going out of every one of your bathrooms, should be biodegradable, and it is non-harmful. It should not be ecotoxic. That is what our target was. And if we have low ecotoxicity and low footprint, then the water total overall it will lowers the water footprint as well. So thereby we sustainably, this is the responsibility as a corporate we wanted to take forward, and to create a green world for the future. So these are the two main areas as a scientist we wanted to look into for developing any raw material or a product which should have a improved biodegradability as well as the low water footprint. These are our main targets for today. So if we say this, why we wanted to say is because we have an expert committee in France for the green chemistry. So they have consolidated all the 12 principles of green chemistry, and they have transformed that for the industry. So our three main commitments, three main pillars, if we say, is one is producing a renewable raw material for the development of cosmetic products. Second is to have an eco-respectful process. If you say eco-respectful process, for developing any raw material, you should not create a chemical effluent which is harming the planet Earth. So you should, for any raw material to be developed, you should investigate on the developmental cycle of the particular raw material. So for that, we wanted to establish the eco-respectful process for all our raw materials, and also for demonstrating the favorable environmental impact. We wanted to develop the environmental impact in such a way, either as a raw material or as a product, final product, we should have a clean and green products for our consumers and also for our Earth. This is what our commitment. So these are the three main pillars what we have consolidated from the 12 principles of green chemistry. So coming to the safe and innovative products, what we have already, because we wanted to say this is what our commitment is, but where our commitment started from. We wanted to show a case study where one of the product which has taken long years in our shells, and we developed it and we launched it, and there are products out in the market as well. So we wanted to share that case study as a glimpse, and we wanted to go for what I would like to show you what are all the different products, different raw materials that we are looking on for changing the profile in the cosmetic industry, so that it will be a starting point for you guys also to think of something to change our environment to green. So if we say that safe and innovative products, what is there in the market? So if we have, say, out of all our 32 brands, we have different segments of products. If we say, based on those products, we are using totally around 1,400 raw materials which are already naturals, which means by volume, whatever we use as a volume, we have 54% of our raw materials already are coming from renewable origin. So if you say 54%, our target is to close the remaining 46 also from renewable origin. At least, if not to 100%, at least to 95%, we would like to move from this 54% to 95% for the renewable by 2030. So in terms of, so if we say 1,400 raw materials, which are mainly from 290 botanical species, and which is mainly from 60 countries. This is what our current portfolio is. So our objective and ambition is to move this 54% to 95%. So if we say what are the renewable ingredients that we use in development. So as a cosmetic industry, we have a lot of, this is one of the case study what I would like to show you. So if you say sugars, pectins or carrageenans, these are the polysaccharide gums what we use in any cosmetic products. So this is one of the renewable area what we wanted to look into. Just because the product needs to be cosmetically appealing and aesthetics of the product to be very sensorials of the product to be good, there are companies who does derivatization, and because of the derivatization, the naturality and the environmental impact of the raw material is lost. So we even these raw materials are supplied by some of the suppliers to us. We want to cut them out from our portfolio. So that is where we wanted to involve our research and development team to develop a natural process to achieve the same. So coming to the main one specific case study, this is Proxylan. This is an active raw material which is developed by the labs of L'Oreal in Aulnay in France. So this raw material is originated from the usage of xylose. This xylose is from the beechwood. So with the use of the derivatization of the xylose with pentane 1,4-dione, with using a green process of 2 steps, using the water as a solvent, and with this catalytic reduction, what we have achieved is a Proxylan, is a molecule which is a trademark name of the molecule. This molecule has shown the excellent biodegradability using a software BioWin, and in terms of bioaccumulation to the consumers using the software CryoWin, which has a no bioaccumulation, and in terms of ecotoxicity, it is very low. So with this in the software information, we have done a lot of studies. This is what with the in silico prediction, we have done all these predictions for this particular molecule of Proxylan. And we have calculated a lot of impacts about this environmental impact and the bioavailability. Because if you say bioaccumulation is different and the bioavailability is different, if the molecule is bioavailable, then it will act on the consumer and it will give the expected benefit. If you say bioaccumulation, it means the excess molecule is getting deposited in your tissues and it affects the health of the tissue. So we don't want to have bioaccumulation, but we would like to have bioavailability. So that is nothing but a precise balance between the bioaccumulation and the bioavailability. So that is where the research team plays a major role. So I don't want to get into the too much details of all these things. So I would like to show you directly on the clinical study which was conducted versus the placebo. For a 6 months clinical study for this Proxylan has given us a very good, excellent anti-aging benefits. In terms of the effects, what we see is overall skin strength, in terms of tone, and also in terms of elasticity and smoothness. If you see versus T0 and T6 months, if you see the image, you can see the elasticity of the skin is improved and also the wrinkles have got reduced. Currently, this product is marketed in a wide range of L'Oreal skincare products. So this is one of the success story where the green transformation of a sugar molecule has yielded us with an active molecule which has given us which has given the anti-aging benefits not only biologically and also with the physical appearance as well. So this is one of the case. With this case study has given us the motivation. Why not we invest more in terms of green chemistry and sustainability to do more with to achieve a green world actually. So with this, we wanted to show you the green chemistry as a catalyst for innovation. If we say from biomass to an innovative cosmetic ingredients, how we would like to add value specifically. If we say there are two main cases, there are a lot, if we categorize the raw materials used in cosmetic sectors, we can classify a lot of raw materials, a lot of class of raw materials which are being used. For the simplicity and for today's talk, I would like to focus mainly on the polyphenols and the carbohydrates. These are the two different sectors. One will be the polyphenols will be your active molecules. They will act as an antioxidant and they will act as a skin whitening agent. So I would like to touch upon the polyphenols as well. And also carbohydrates, these are the sugar molecules which will help and give you give the better impact on the cosmeticity of the product. If you want to have a cosmetic cream which is non-sticky, non-tacky cream, it is a smooth feel, where that appearance is mainly provided by the carbohydrate derivatives. So I would like to show you guys how we are concentrating on actives as well as for the functional ingredients like polymers in terms of in the cosmetic sectors, how to take this forward for the green chemistry approach to reach the green world. So if we say what is our target is, we would like to have a straightforward reactions, chemical reactions, and also there is no protective group. If you introduce any protecting groups, obviously there will be the biodegradability of the raw material will go down. And we would like to use eco-friendly solvents. We don't want to use only the catalyst, chemical catalyst. We would like to use the enzymatic catalyst as a biocatalysis. And also we would like to use the fermentation processes for achieving the raw material. And being in terms of the process intensification is more on how to improve the mechanical processes to get the output what we want rather than introducing any chemicals. So that will have a very good impact on the environment. And also we would like to do the favorable environmental profiling. The unfavorable environmental profiling, it is not only in the process, the effluent which is going out of the raw material production should have a very good environmental profile. So these are the key criterias what we look into when I want, if I am taking any raw material in the lab and derivatizing it, or if I want to process the biomass, I would like to take all these key criterias in my mind so that the product comes out as more green. So coming mainly focusing on the polyphenols to now as a case study. So if we see resveratrol, myrcetin and epigallocatechin gallate, these are the few raw materials which were shown, which is available in nature. And also these raw materials were showing a very good, excellent antioxidant property. If you say resveratrol, everybody will think of grapes. Epigallocatechin gallate, it will be tea. So what we wanted to do, how these antioxidant will help. If we say these antioxidant is what is added in all your UV based products and also in the anti-aging products. If you say antioxidant property, what it does is it reduces the oxidative stress in the cells. So if it reduces the reactive oxygen species in the cells, so your cell lipid bilayer is protected, so there is no lipid peroxidation. So, and that is in terms of the outside part of the cell. And if you say inside part, if it inhibits the MMP activation because of the intracellular side toxicity of the free radicals, your MMP activation is happening. The trigger is happening for the expression of MMP. So with the use of these antioxidants, if you reduce the cellular toxicity of reactive oxygen species, so there is a indirectly you are influencing the production of MMP, matrix metalloproteases, in the cell, and thereby you are protecting your skin mainly from the degradation of structural components. And mainly the degradation of structural components is protected. This, if without antioxidant, this process results in the photo-induced aging. With antioxidant, the aging process is delayed. It is temporarily we are protecting our body. This is what the main funda behind all the UV-based products as well as the anti-aging products. So when you say resveratrol, myrcetin, and epigallocatechin gallate, if we look for the real life performance for these raw materials, as on today, these are the only bets available with us. But we would like to derivatize these molecules with other functional groups, which enhances the antioxidant property of the overall antioxidant property of this polyphenol. That is what our target is. So how we wanted to employ that, how we wanted to do that. Either you do through the molecular biology route coupled with the microbiology or with the synthetic chemistry. So we are not looking only for the plant-based polyphenols. We are looking based on the microbial source as well. So if we say plant-based or microbial source-based, so either you should introduce a genetic engineering or you should use enzymes as a key source for the production of the metabolites which can be used for antioxidant properties. Either this is a route or you should use a synthetic chemistry route to achieve the production of more potent antioxidant from resveratrol or any plant-based phenols. So we have a research center in Olney where that is completely dedicated for the fermentation technology as well. So from there, if I want to go specifically for a specific carboxylation of these phenols, what we have done is in certain studies with our collaborators in various universities in Europe. So there are specifically with the use of the enzyme 2,3 DHBA decarboxylase, and also with this decarboxylase enzyme, what we wanted to do is with the use of this enzyme, can we introduce the carboxyl group and also to produce the functional moieties in the polyphenols, and also to produce the polyphenols in a better with a better yield, and also to study these polyphenols, derivatized polyphenols for a better performance. Because each of these polyphenols, derivatizing it with the carboxylic acid, it is not only gives you the antioxidant benefits, because in certain cases some of the cosmetic products requires your low pH system as well. So if you want to produce a low pH system, if you introduce any of the mineral acids, obviously your polyphenols will not be so stable. So what we would like to do is with the introduction of this carboxylic acid under the mild conditions, so we will make this particular molecule to be more acidic, so that the pH of the molecule is also lower, so that the molecule is more stable, and also it produces the same potential antioxidant properties. So with this carboxylation, as a simple touch upon case study, I would like to now move on more on the carbohydrates part. If you say carbohydrates as a polymers, this is the polymer which is giving you the cosmetic feel. But the touch and see feel what you get when you open a jar of a cosmetic product is mainly from the carbohydrates. So this is where we wanted to play more on different mechanical engineering based strategies, and also enzymatic based strategies, and also chemical based transformations to further take it up for the derivatization. So, so if I say polysaccharides, these are the building blocks. It is not the building blocks only for the plants and trees and also the naturally available materials. It is the building block for the cosmetics as well. So if you say in nature, the carbohydrates play a major role in terms of energy storage as a structural component, and also for the signaling biological pathways. So in cosmetics, if you see, it will act as a rheology modifier, if you say viscosity modifiers, and also it forms a film on the surface of the skin. And in the case of Proxylan, it is a sugar molecule which is turned as a derivative of the sugar molecule turned to an active ingredient. So for a sugar in cosmetics, it has a multiple functions, and it is used in the diverse case of formulas. And if you want to use in the diverse formula like shampoos, creams, gels, and lotions, serums. So what it requires is a fine tuning of the physicochemical properties. If you say fine tuning of the physicochemical property, it is mainly of the viscosity, solubility, molecular weight, functional groups, etc. So with that, I would like to take you through one of the technology, which is called extrusion technology. So this extrusion technology, how it is helpful for us in terms of producing a polysaccharide, which is very good in terms of improving all the cosmetic aspects of any raw material. When you load your starting material or any sugar molecules with this tunable screws with the tightening, you can adjust the molecular size of the polysaccharides. So that will ultimately result in a product which will have a very good eco design, which has a very good safety in terms of versatility and intensification. As we all from the science background and as a scientist, I would like to mention here that the L'Oreal is the one key cosmetic organization. It looks safety as one of its main pillar. L'Oreal doesn't compromise on safety of the ingredient which is used in its products. So if we say cosmetic is safety, there is a separate department which is directly under the Mancom of L'Oreal, which without that safety's approval, we cannot go for any product development or any raw material development. So the strategy needs to be approved by the safety department. So that is how L'Oreal works. So in terms of this reactive extrusion, what it does is it is mainly concentrates on, because of the heat and the shearing force, we do polymer grafting, cross-linking, fragmentation, and polymerization. This is about the theoretical part. If you look into the case study, practical case study, what are all the different outcomes of this particular extrusion technology? It controls the size of the polymers and also the polydispersity of the polymers. So if you control the size and the polydispersity, I know that will help in the various cosmetic aspects. And if we say chemoselectivity, if that is mainly based on if you want to have a specific sugars in a specific ratio in a polymer, so you can do that, and then with the help of this extrusion technology, you can make it very homogeneously embedded all across the polymer. So that is where the chemoselectivity and polydispersity plays a major role for creating various derivatives of polysaccharides with the extrusion technology. Coming to one specific case study. So if we say hydrophobically modified cellulose, say for example, whatever the makeup items, so whatever the makeup creams or the makeup powders, what we use, what is the raw material that is being used, it is all hydrophobically modified cellulose derivatives. So that is forming a film, that is acting as a film former on the surface of the skin. If we need to increase this in the weight by weight concentration in the formula without impacting viscosity, that is where this is extrusion technology. Because without decreasing the particle size or the molecular size of this sugars, if you increase the concentration, what happens is your cosmetic product no more looks like a cosmetic product. It doesn't look like cream, it looks like your toothpaste. So any consumer will not look excited to use such cosmetic product. So that is where this extrusion technology helps. With the help of this extrusion technology, what you are trying to do is you are reducing the molecular size of the polysaccharide, and thereby you are reducing from 18 and 52 kilodaltons to 5 and 5 to 6, and as well as 18 to 20 kilodaltons. In any polysaccharide, if you take, there will be a range. So that polydispersity range is being reduced with the use of this extrusion technology with the specific conditions of the like heating, and also with the sodium sulfate as a moisture absorber we use to generate these raw materials. So with this, what happens is, pristine is a whole polymer. When you say pristine is a whole polymer, what happens is the viscosity of this particular polymer is very high with 22,000 with CP, centipoise. So what happens is when you fragment it, you will get only 150 CP with the same concentration, where if you do the extrusion technology and if you do, you will get a 150 CP. Whereas with the same concentration, if you use, what happens is you will get a 22,000 CP viscosity. With the 22,000 CP viscosity, it looks more like a toothpaste. With 150 CP viscosity, you will get a more like a serum, or it is more of a cosmetic product. So why you want to use there will be a question, why you want to use such a high concentration to achieve a low viscosity? Because that high concentration of cellulose is what is helping us in terms of sticking if you look into this particular eye makeup which is shown, with the use of such high concentration of the polymer, what it does is it sticks to the eye very well. It sticks to the under eye area and the over eye area in a specific way. So this film forming ability happens because of the high concentration of the hydrophobically modified cellulose. But with the same concentration, what happens is it gives me a pasty cosmetic feel. It gives a paste appearance. It is not a creamy appearance. It's not a makeup product. So if I use this extrusion technology, it reduces the viscosity, and also it serves as a very good film former at that particular concentration. And if you see the 20% of, if you see there is a challenge in the FMCG raw material producing industries, that if you use any polymer, the polymer swells and it gives you a thick cream. So that happens only with the help of only in the water-based systems. But cosmetics is more of an oil-based system as well. So this particular technology helps the raw material to swell in the oil also, because of the reduction in the molecular size. But it is not to the very high extent. To some extent, the oil swelling property is also improving on this with the use of this extrusion technology. So, and these is whatever I've shown you is the hydrophobically modified cellulose. There are a lot of other sugars which are being used in the cosmetic industry. So the research is more on the carrageenan, alginate gels, and the high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. So if you say high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, it is more of an anti-aging molecule. So with these things, by reducing the molecular size, it enhances the bioavailability of the cell of the molecules into the cells. So thereby renders the anti-aging benefits. So there are a lot of process versatility that we can introduce with this, and with these three raw materials, our lab to pilot scale trials are going on for the studying their rheological properties and also to see the impact of the performance of the raw material. So with this, if what I would like to say is we wanted to have a solution which is ingredient based optimization, which is more for renewability and sustainable, which should be renewable and sustainable, and also the sourcing material should be more of sustainable. And so in the solution what we can get is by combining both. One is the usage of renewable sustainable raw materials, and also use some green and straightforward transformation techniques, so that this will help us in achieving our target of 2020's goal of converting our all the products into 95% green and naturals. So, but this is how we do with the pushing the limits of the technologies by expanding or revisiting their scope and adapting them from the context to the applications. So the take home message from here is green chemistry at every stage from design to manufacturing. This is what we wanted to do. So starting material should be from a renewable origin to reach to a sophisticated structures and properties and functional activities. So this is where we wanted to end. And what we wanted to do is the method development gives us the access to versatile and efficient tools. So we are into the tool development and also method development for achieving all these things. And we have products that are not only green, but also that display performance. When you say if it is a natural raw material, yeah, it is a natural raw material. The consumer says, yes, it is a natural raw material, but it will not give you a performance. That is not our case. In our case, it is more of the products which we wanted to ensure through a clinical study that there is a performance which is seen at the human trial level. And with this high ambition of sustainability objectives, we want to translate our all the scientific challenges and technical challenges, and we want to convert them as a recognition. These challenges, we wanted to convert this challenge, and that challenge has to become our recognition. L'Oreal means they solve the scientific problems, they push us the scientific technologies to achieve the naturals. So the final say is we have no desire to do green chemistry. We desire to do the best chemistry, and it happens to be the green. So that is what said by the Anastas. So that is what L'Oreal follows. I would like to proudly say L'Oreal is one organization in the cosmetic sector who thinks more on naturals, who thinks more, because in India we know a lot of products which claims in the market saying natural, Ayurvedic, but you can also see the ingredient list and see they are present at 0.2% and 0.5%. And also you can see that they don't perform after someone. If you use it for 1 month, and if you don't use it, I'll not say if you use it for certain days, then you will get the benefit. And beyond that certain days, if you apply it, you will not see the benefits. But L'Oreal is not such an organization where we do all our work based on the scientific outcomes, and we have a big research team. And we have a big research team on the science background, and the Mancom of L'Oreal is more targeted towards green chemistry. We are, as a responsible organization, responsible corporate, we focus more towards the green chemistry. And also there are a lot of things which are available around the green chemistry. If I say about the access and benefit sharing, what we do with the farmers, if I want to develop a raw material in L'Oreal, and if I want to launch that in a product in L'Oreal, it takes minimum 8 to 10 years. It is more equivalent to pharma industry, I will say. And we do a lot of tests in terms of ecotoxicity, human safety, with reference to because cosmetics is not essential. If you say a pharma company which produces a drug, if that creates a side effects or toxicity, people do agree because it cures the disease. But cosmetics is not that, is not like that. Cosmetics is more of a beauty benefits. If I want to use for something for my beauty benefits, and if it gives side effects, that is a really a bad part of it. Being a responsible organization, we are 100% committed towards the safety of the raw materials, not only to the consumers and also to the environment and also to the roots of the company, like the farmers who cultivate the raw materials. So there are a lot of systems which are there in place, and we are slowly building things in India also. Today we are just 25 years old company in India, and research center is just 10 years old. So we are focusing and moving all the products of Indian origin, and also from India to the global market as well in a greener way. Yeah. With this, I would like to thank you, and the questions are welcome now.
Our students can ask questions. Probably I'll start the question session. Instead of using a mechanical
Yeah.
device to reduce the molecular size, when you are doing that, you get
Extrusion.
you don't have a control over the size of the fragments that you are generating.
Yeah.
Okay, not accurately, but if you
Yeah.
use some enzymes, probably like an amylase
Okay.
that specifically cleaves at say 10, that would be any future research is going on.
So if I want to,
Yes, it
yes,
also uses the sodium sulfide, I think, and water for the grinding.
So if I would like to answer this question, it is more of, again, we always calculate the cost and performance. So if you say, if I use a mechanical extrusion as a one-time investment, and it is just a physical mechanical process. So when I want to, we are using enzymes for our development of raw materials. There is no doubt about it. But we wanted to also look into which one is the best in terms of cost of performance. If I use extrusion, it will be cheaper compared to an enzyme-based one. We are using enzymes for a complicated process where we want to see that be sure if this solution can be brought only by enzymes, then we will go for it. Hello? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is where we are working on. This extrusion technology is one what we have shown, and we have certain case studies with enzymes as well. But that will be happening only when there is something is very specific. When there is without this using this enzyme, if I can't go, then I will do that. Because we will try mostly go for a mechanical thing, followed by the enzymes, followed by the fermentation, followed by the genetic engineering. Genetic engineering we are not encouraging as on today, because in terms of we don't know about the enzymes and the residue of the enzymes, and also how it impacts, because we are using a raw material for cosmetic application. Some of the residues what we get out of this enzymatic production, if that residues, what is happening is, if I'm a scientist who develops the raw material. So what happens is, when I develop a raw material, if I have to prove that it is very safe, it is not toxic. So I have to prove that there is no residual enzyme which is present in the particular raw material with the use of enzymes. So in that case also, we are using something like encapsulation technology with the beads, so that the processes, so that there is no residual enzyme at the end. Again, it is based on case to case, and mainly based on costs of performance.
Raja sir, you are on mute.
Actually, there is a connection loss.
Yeah.
Okay, any students want to ask any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can raise your hand that I ask the question. Jeevita?
So, Arun sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, it's a very nice presentation, sir. I have questions regarding the model system limitations in this cosmetic field. Like, how you guys
Okay.
approach this model systems, like a in vitro model or in vivo model, there is limitations in when you test for safety.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So if I say first will be always our is in silico, because if you see in Olney, it is in France, it is all very built system. We have around 2,000 researchers in France only.
okay.
So we have a very built facilities in terms of in silico, in vitro, and so what we do is we want to be sure whether this raw material will be working through in silico predictions. If we feel that there is no safety alerts, and because for performance we have a separate set of softwares, for the toxicity building we have a separate set of softwares. So through that we will screen, and if we get some positive outputs from the in silico softwares, then we will move for in vitro tests. So based on the in vitro test with the cell culture based systems, we will check the safety or efficacy or performance of the raw material, and then we will move for the in vivo.
So, in vitro, you
The
check in the skin cells or
skin cells, yes.
okay, okay, sir.
In vitro, I can say one is a single cell molecule, single cells screening through as one single cell, and also we have a 2D co-culture model of keratinocytes and fibroblast models, and also we have 3D skin layer which is being built as an episkin. Episkin is a one trademark where we wanted to have it's a 3D skin model with all cell types, followed by where we will check the efficacy and also safety. Then we will go for the in vivo testing.
Okay. Thank you.
Arun, probably you can say what are the opportunities for this, particularly BTech genetic engineering students in FMCG related R&D, because that is one area we are not very much, what is that? We don't have an exposure.
Okay.
So FMCG, they think that it is only cosmetics, more of a chemistry and other things. What are the roles available for the genetic engineering and biotechnology students?
Okay. So if I would say that that was the understanding and perception of people that FMCG is more for a chemist and it is more of a chemist area and not a biologist area. Slowly the world is realizing, yes, biologists are required there. I will say in the last 2 decades, it was more of a biological performance. If I want to be successful in a skin whitening or anti-aging or in terms of photoprotection, the biologists are required. I'll say biologists, I will not say genetic engineers. I'll say biologists are required for, so it is more for to understand the safety, understand the performance of the raw material. And in the coming decades, the next 2 decades, there will be a very good scope for the genetic engineers. But I'm not sure about the country like India, where we are not so well established in terms of genetic engineering. So if you see the European countries and the US, where the people are looking more in terms of genetic engineering, there are a lot of laboratories and the raw material producing industries are right now they are looking into, because plastics is becoming a world issue. So we want an alternative for plastics. So if we want to say plastics, the whole country in terms of European regulations and US regulations for cosmetics is getting stringent day by day. So we are looking for an alternatives of plastics. If I say we are looking for polymers, yes, there is a why we are looking for polymers is there are plastics which are already available in the cosmetic products, microplastics. So these microplastics to be replaced with some polymers. But what we wanted to know is if something can be synthesized through the genetic engineering, if something can be achieved through the genetic engineering with the small molecules, which can be biodegradable, which is ecologically safe, then it is a very good scope for the future to go more greener.
Okay,
Your voice is not audible. Yeah. So in that case, the coming 2 decades, there will be a very good scope for the genetic engineers as well. That is
Okay,
what I
what
would like to
about this intake? What level do you take? So BTech, MTech, or PhD? Entry
It will be
point.
mostly entry point will be MTech and PhDs.
MTech, okay.
And the preference will be if anybody does their PhD based on the applications like what I said in terms of polymers, in terms of microplastics or synthesis of synthesis of a replacers for replacing microplastics. So those will be through the biological route, or because we are the organization, we have the fermentation facility in a full scale. So right now, there are a lot of options in terms of full scale fermentation in Olney. But what we wanted to say here is, yeah, we are now looking for metabolic engineering in terms of derivative. Whatever we are seeing as a polyphenol derivatization, we are thinking through cell route as well. Again, the thing is, it should be, we always calculate the cost of performance. So how, if I translate that into the industry, if I want to, what is the bulk? If I want a raw material that is produced in bulks in tons and tons, then we will go for a genetic engineering route.
Okay. So I don't think there are any other questions. So we can wind up the session. I would like to thank Dr. Arun for his wonderful talk, and he has enlightened us with the way that FMCG works on behalf of the Department of Genetic Engineering, students, and the management of the SRM. I thank Dr. Arun for giving us this wonderful talk. Thank you.
Arun
Thank,
sir,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, one question. Yeah.
how are
There is
you, sir?
someone.
It's been a long
Ma'am.
time we met.
Yeah,
This
fine,
is
madam.
Dr.
How are
Ramya, I
you?
think.
Hello,
I
hello,
hope you
madam.
remember.
Yeah, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing
Good,
good,
sir.
madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful presentation today.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we can wind up this session.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good luck to all the students, final year students. Bye-bye.
Bye.